Hey, what's happening? What is going on? Welcome to fourth quarter. We can get all your sports for the fans, by the fans. What's up? We're back. We're here every Tuesday live on YouTube. You also catch the podcast anywhere you find podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. YouTube is podcast now, guys. Check it out. Craig, what's up? What's going on, man?
Man, just getting into these playoffs. The regular season, but the playoffs is a different thing.
Playoffs have been. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna get to them later, but the Knicks and Sixers was phenomenal. Like, even though the Lakers got gentlemen swept, the games were close. So that was a good series. The Pelicans and OKC, Miami dominated. Miami did dominate. I mean, Boston dominated Miami. The Orlando and Cleveland series was good. I watched some of the Pacers Bucks, but then it started getting out of control once Dame was hurt. But that Knicks Sixers series, that joint was like that, and the Clippers and the Mavericks, that series was good too. These playoffs. These playoffs have been lit. Let me tell you something. We're going to get into the NFL. The playoffs have been so good, Craig, that they're offering the NBA. Because remember, the TNT might not extend their contract. Their contract with NBA is up. Amazon came out and said they want it. And NBC. They're going to sign with a $2.5 billion. And hey, listen, I mean, the playoffs is where it's at. I'm not gonna lie. The Knicks Pacers game was good.
If they can't get TNT to, because just those guys in general, 4 guys that they got.
You don't think they'll go to Amazon?
I don't know, man, but it's just like I don't know. They just become such a staple with.
This is a staple with TNT.
With just basketball in general, NBA. You know,
I don't think they're gonna retire. I think they'll still go.
They're the most watch. To me, they're the best ones to watch. I mean, I don't really watch ESPN for the pregame.
No, I don't watch ESPN
for the post game. But they're always doing something funny or doing so. It's just I'll be disappointed if they don't figure that out. But hopefully they'll figure it out. And
I think so. I think they'll go to Amazon. If it don't resign.
So we'll see what happens.
You don't think so? You don't think they'll all, like, say if Amazon or NBC buys them out, you don't think that NBC will bring them back?
NBC?
Yeah, say if TNT, say Amazon buys, instead of TNT renews their contract with the NBA, and Amazon gets it. You
Amazon
don't think Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's Amazon and NBC. It's in a bidding war for the NBA. So I don't know if they need. I'm not gonna say they don't need TNT, but like I don't know if I know TNT. Listen, if you follow business, Turner has sold off HBO. They've sold off a lot of their stuff. So I don't know what's going on, but it seems like they don't want to renew the NBA. They probably sell TNT. I get it, I understand it, but what if Amazon asked Ernie, Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck to come? Do you think they would come, or they would be like, no? I think they would go.
Yeah, I guess. Might as well.
Yeah, I think they would go. I don't think they're ready to retire yet. Not yet. I think they got some years left. Ernie, you know what I'm saying? Like if Amazon says, hey guys, we're going to give you everything you need to succeed, and here's your money. We'll increase your salary. Yeah, I think they'll take it. we're just gonna have to get used to watching them on like Amazon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's going on with TNT. I just know they sold HBO to Discovery. It's selling off assets. But anyway, guys, let's talk about Craig, the NFL. Right after the NFL, guys, let's do this first time we've done this. I don't know if we've done it in the past. Maybe not. But we are grading NFL best teams right now. Of course, this is going to change. This might change training camp. I don't know. But we're going to go from 32 all the way up to 1. And Greg, I'm going to start with you. Who is the 30? Who will be at the bottom of the bottom, basically with the first NFL pick in the 2024 draft, 2025 draft?
My 32nd team is the Patriots. Right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
don't really have
a lot of holes.
Yeah,
they got a lot of holes, man. Yeah, it sucks, because that joint might stunt Drake May. For real.
Maybe if they
don't rush him. They don't need to rush him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need to rush him, man.
Well, they're gonna be winning games. So, and they're not gonna be really winning too many games, I don't think. So I got them at the last spot.
Oh, okay. I know this might be somebody in the division, but I'm basing it on there's reports of them starting Drew Lock. They just drafted the league neighbors. I got the Giants, man. I don't think they're gonna be good at all, man. So I got them 31. What do you think? Who are they close?
Who do you have at 32?
I agree with you. So we're doing it. So we're going back and forth. Yeah. So I'm like,
we're going back and forth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
With it? Yeah. So we get to hear everybody's picks, and you know what I'm saying. Who do you have at 31?
I had the Panthers.
That I wanted to say that, but I was like, yo, I was like, nah.
They might surprise me this year.
They might be. I don't know.
I doubt it.
They're 30th for me.
I got them at 31. I don't really haven't really bought into it. I'm not excited for football season. Yeah. I'm just not. I mean, nothing has got me excited at all about what I've seen since the new owner took over. I gotta look at his record. His record is really it's poor. It's like 31-66 or something like that. I don't know what it is. So nothing really. Probably the worst owner in sports. I don't really know any. And there's probably some other owners out there that have done some crazy things.
Yeah, well, I had one of them.
I'm talking about like right now, owners that are currently in the NFL.
Yeah,
or not in the NFL, just in sports in general. At least in the Big Four. I don't really know about soccer like that.
He might be actually.
So. Yeah, his record is 31-68, so which is unacceptable. Is that with 6 head coaches in 6 years, basically? Or
yeah,
I guess it's about 6 years. So he's never had to win a record. I don't know. So I'm not really pumped up about it, but I got the Panthers at 31. 30, I got the Giants.
Yeah,
they just lost too many pieces, and they didn't really. I guess they didn't really get anything back in return. I mean, if you really think about it.
I don't know what they're doing. I get Malik Neighbors.
And I'm not a fan of the quarterback.
I'm not. No, not reports that Drew Lock might be in.
Even if Daniel Jones starts, I just never been a fan of his. So I'm just not really interested in seeing what they have. They lost their best player on offense, so I don't know how you didn't really put anybody in that spot. I guess Neighbors maybe, but yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be the only one focused on.
I mean, they drafted the kid from Tennessee last year, Hyatt. They just never really used him. I think he was hurt or whatever. Waller was not good last year for the most part.
He might retire.
He's getting up. He's what, 31, 30, 31. So he's getting up there. I think he can still play, but he's just. I mean, if that's going to be your number one target, then. I don't I don't like the Giants.
This one's not a surprise, but I'm gonna go Tennessee Titans. I listen. We could be wrong. They could win the division, but I don't think they have a good roster. Like I don't. I'm not a believer in Will Levis. We'll see. Listen, I might be wrong. Or they might be one of those teams that get hot in September and then go on like a 12-game losing streak. Like, oh, this is who we thought they were. Maybe. But do you agree with that? You agree with that?
29, yeah, I got Tennessee at 29.
Yeah.
Just don't really. I wanted to put them lower, but I couldn't put them lower.
I couldn't. They got more talent than the other.
I do like their receivers, even though. Well, I like Ridley and I like D Hop. I don't really like Burks, but Pollard.
No, they just signed too, Tyler Boyd.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that says something big for Burks.
They've given Levis a lot of guys, a lot of talent. I guess they got a tight end.
There's no excuse.
Tight end, and they got Pollard.
Yeah. So they got good tight end. They got Pollard.
They got some stuff there. They just gotta make it work, I guess.
They got a tackle, right? J.C. Latham. They have D Hop, Tyler Boyd in the slot, and they have Ridley, right?
They got Ridley. Yeah,
they got Ridley. So D Hop's gonna be the number one, and then Ridley's gonna fit perfect. And then Tyler Boyd at 3. Traylon Burks might be that. Tyler Boyd signing means a lot because he's not starting before the other two, and I don't know if he's starting over Tyler Boyd. I don't, not in the slot. So we'll see.
Probably not because Burks just hasn't. Burks hasn't been. He just hasn't been good. I don't know. He just hasn't.
And to be honest, there's no excuse. Okay, it is an excuse, but like, how long has he had? This is his third year.
This is his third year or something.
Yeah, you're gonna see something in receiver. If you don't see it the first year, you're gonna see flashes, and then you're gonna definitely see it year 2. Like you know what I'm saying? By year 3, like if Jahad Dotson doesn't have a good year this year, it's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's we see flashes now. It's time to build the consistency, and I think Burks is. I don't even think he's been that consistent at all.
No.
But we should see something now, Okay, 28.
I got the Commanders. Now I was debating to put the Commanders here or maybe moving them up a spot or two between them and the Broncos and the Cardinals. I kind of have them all in that same area.
Yeah,
I just picked the Commanders just because I don't even know. I picked it. It's tough because it's tough between them and the Broncos. I probably could have flopped them.
It's. I'm a Commanders fan, but right now we didn't get no O-line help. I don't know how everything's gonna see. It's way far off to do any predictions yet. So, I agree. Those are probably gonna be our next 3. Denver. So if you were to put the Broncos and then the Commanders and then the Cardinals or the Commanders, I would understand.
I was going back and forth.
The offensive line is terrible.
these
we
three
are the
teams.
worst in the league.
So
yeah. And then Denver, Denver, everybody's talking about Bo Nix. That's cool. I think Sean Payton fixed the offensive line. The defense showed flashes, but who does he? What weapons does he have?
I mean, he has Mims, and he has Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton, yes.
Mims didn't get nothing. I mean, he was a rookie last year. He didn't really get a lot because he was behind Sutton and Judy. But now
we'll
he should
see.
be the number 2 at least.
Yeah, because they traded Judy, so there's no excuse. He's gonna get some targets.
Still Javonte in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got Piron still, and I thought they got somebody else.
Their roster is depleted though. For real.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Sean Payton shouldn't have took the job. That might be one of his worst. He should have just. Okay, for real. Okay, let's play it out. If Sean Payton waited a year, what jobs were up for grabs? Seattle, Carolina was up for grabs. Washington was up for grabs. No, I'm just saying, if Sean Payton waited a year instead of getting a Denver job, the Chargers job was open, the Commanders job was open, the Panthers job was open. He would have had his choices. Like, think about it. If he's like, oh, Commanders, I get this quarterback rich draft, I get to pick my guy at 2, right? Or if he goes to Atlanta, what if they said he still got Penix? If Penix was there, he would have picked Penix over Bo Nix. But anyway, reports are coming out. They ain't even look happy. That's neither here nor there. But I just maybe he should have waited. Maybe he should have waited, because it was Seattle. It was some quality jobs this year. So, this could determine, like, if Bo Nix fails, he fails. It's done. Will he get another head coaching job? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. He's a tough division. Justin Herbert just got hardball. Anyway, and then I agree with the next one that you had is Arizona.
26 Arizona.
I think that Arizona, I got to see a healthy Kyler Murray. They have a young team. Their defense is going to be terrible. They just don't have the pieces on defense, and I don't see them winning in the shootout. So they're going to be right there. They'll be at 26. And the great thing is these could change, but right now, nah. I think we're at 25.
Yeah.
I got a good. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. Maybe the Raiders.
That's what I got.
The quarterback, man. That they don't have a quarterback. Like, to be honest with you, they have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. And I bet you this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I bet you they will wait. Nobody knew Atlanta was gonna draft a quarterback. And they were probably like, we can get Michael Penix. Michael Penix would have felt it and they would have drafted him. And we would be having this. It would be a different conversation because I think Michael Penix is better than Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. But I mean, Craig, the AFC's a gauntlet. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, it's gonna be
a gauntlet.
It's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie. This is going to be a real tough threat for some of these teams.
It's going to be.
And I think the NFC also, to me, has improved.
Yes, it is. Yes, it has.
Especially over the last couple of years where it was pretty much a 2-team or 3-team race. Now it seems like it's kind of getting back a little bit.
It's getting
balancing itself out a little bit, especially with some of these young quarterbacks who just got drafted this year. A lot of them went to the NFC. Yeah, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 out of 6. I think. 1 and 2. I think I can think of our Knicks and what's the dude's name? May. But the only 2 that got drafted, they went to the AFC. So
Knicks and May.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So 4 of them went to the, and then last year, you had a couple guys. So maybe it'll start balancing stuff out, or maybe I don't know if O'Connell's going to be the guy going forward. Maybe he has a solid season and he's just the guy. Or maybe just in a spot where they're going to be drafting next year for a quarterback. So at least he has an opportunity to try to do something. I feel bad for the Raiders though, because they don't have a legit starting quarterback.
Which is, man, and
they like the only team that doesn't have like a paid legit type or like a highly drafted first round type quarterback. I think. I don't know, man.
I mean,
or like a good veteran or something like that. They got like a except for Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy has really solidified himself to me. But
I mean, I think Brock Purdy is, better than a lot of quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So, he's just, Brock Purdy's he's Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? He's in a good. He's a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So we are at 24.
24. I got the Saints.
I was about to say that's what team was kind of sticking out. I almost wanted to put them 25.
I put the Saints 24 just because I think they have a better quarterback situation, and I think they have a better defense. They're always really solid on defense anyway. And also they play. I don't know if this really has anything to influence it, but they play in the easier division. So I just don't think I picked the Saints last year. I think to win that division, and they disappointed me. So I can't rock with them this year, even though they're pretty much bringing everybody back except for a few people. I know Michael Thomas isn't coming back. He shouldn't be back at all anyway. But and their defense is still going to be probably really good, or at least top 10 worthy defense. But I don't know, man. The Saints, man, they just I really put a lot of that on Derek Carr because he played really good against bad teams, but really bad against good teams. So if he does that again this year, I think they have an easier schedule though.
I think so.
The schedule was pretty lax.
Yeah.
So they should be a lot better in terms of that. If you go by that, but that doesn't always equate to wins. Because I think they had an easy schedule last year on paper with the Panthers and everybody else, and ended up still not making the playoffs. So
not winning, not making the playoffs, and then it kind of just seems like this is kind of the Saints every year since kind of towards the tail end of Drew Brees' career. So, it just it kind of sucks, man. Craig, it's getting a little tight. I gotta go with. Oh man, he said the Saints. See, this is getting tight because it's 20. We're at what, 23, right?
20, yeah, 23.
I might have to go Minnesota.
That's what I picked too.
You got Sam Darnold starting once again. Now, next year might be different because they're probably gonna let JJ McCarthy have a year. They're probably gonna sit JJ for a year, and then they're gonna be, next year we'll see. They're gonna be different, but they're gonna let him sit a year. So they have a good roster. It's just, listen, we're I don't know what you guys think, but we're in the world of the quarterback. And the quarterback play has to be elite. This is it's a lot of elite quarterbacks. That's how it is in the NFL. You'll get somebody to sneak in there, but most times you're gonna get, if you get a all-time great quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they're gonna win a lot of games. They're gonna go to a lot of playoff games. So we're just in the era of the quarterback. All right, what we got? 22.
Yeah, 22. I was going back and forth between 22, pretty much these next three teams.
I got a feeling I think I know two you're gonna say.
But I went with the Colts just because I'm still debating on how good Anthony Richardson can be. I know he was solid before he got hurt, and I want to see what happens when he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to put him up one more spot, and I wouldn't be mad if I change it, or I wouldn't be mad if we had him one more spot or a couple spots up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I just got him at 22 right now. I'm just in a wait and see mode here because I always picked it every year except for last year. I think I picked the Colts to win the division, and it seems like not every year, but just about every year. And they just
I do too. Yeah,
like
their division's crazy.
So maybe if Richardson was healthy, they would have been able to challenge Houston a little bit more.
Yeah,
and I think they still have an opportunity, especially if he's healthy, because they just got a really good edge rusher from UCLA, and then they got a wide receiver who slipped to them in the second round to go along with Pittman and Pierce, and they still have Jonathan Taylor. So
I think they got Mitchell
from Texas, yeah,
from Texas.
So he could easily be
That's tough. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell,
number 2. So I think the Colts might be able to do some things this year, though. But right now I got him at 22.
Yeah, I got him. I agree with that, man. Sorry, Corey.
Team's higher than anybody else is on this list. One of our
I'm about to say they got a chance. So we're at 21.
Yep.
I'm gonna say the Chargers, man.
That's what I picked too.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Chargers just because. Listen, and I get it. There's going to be new teams. It's going to be new teams. That it's going to be 6 new playoff teams that happens every year for the past 8 years. You're going to have teams that's going to be in there that wasn't in there last year. It could be the Jets. It could be the Bengals. Joe Burrow's back. It could be Colts instead of the Browns. You know what I'm saying? You know, right?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, the Browns made it last year.
Yeah, no, it could be the Colts instead of the Browns.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I just think the Chargers are a little bit depleted. I think that they, besides Herbert, and they got Jerry Rice's son, who I think is going to be a great NFL. He's gonna be a good NFL receiver. He's gonna be good, I think. And I just think he's got to do some rebuilding. The Chargers lost a lot. They lost a lot, and the salary cap. And I'm starting to understand about the salary cap. The salary cap exists, guys, but it's like a credit card. The bill comes due. That's why teams like the Chargers have to unload all their talent and then draft. So, but I think I just think next year they'll be ready, but this year, not in the tough AFC.
Yeah, I got the Chargers too. I just think that the pieces, especially on offense, that they lost so much talent around Herbert, and Herbert was playing well. He was playing really good, and they always seem to get hurt. Some of those guys, but they just never really got over the hump to win a playoff game or win the one playoff game in all of his seasons that he's been there. He was hurt last year. He lost Michael Williams. He lost Keenan Allen like the year before he got hurt. Austin Eckler got hurt like the year before or something like that. So I guess in a sense it was time to move on from those guys because those guys are getting a little bit older and a little bit more injury prone. So, but I just wanted them to at least bring in somebody, maybe like another veteran, Hollywood Brown, anybody that could have just been like a number one wide receiver that could kind of be there to help develop the younger talent. The wide receiver that they just drafted in this year's draft. And the guy they drafted last year, Quentin Johnson, some of those other guys, Palmer, like they had some talent around them, but
they got a young receiving core.
Yeah, so and then
young receiving core.
Quentin Johnson, he didn't do anything last year. Even after Williams went down, I thought he's going to be able to step into that number 2 role. He didn't really do anything, so I'm still waiting to see what the Chargers can do. But I guess the only reason, the biggest reason I got him at 21 is mostly the quarterback and the coach.
Yeah,
and the offensive line.
Yeah,
but everything else, especially the rest of the offense, is kind of a wait and see approach. The defense has talent and has names on it, so we'll see what Harbaugh can do with that.
All right, man. 20.
20, I have Seattle.
Okay.
I probably could have put them lower. I was debating between Seattle, LA, and Indianapolis, but it's a new coach in town. And they still got Geno. They still got those guys on. They got some good wide receivers on offense. They got 2 good running backs. They got 2 good corners on defense, and they got a new coach. So we'll see what happens there. This was just kind of hard for me to kind of pick them between, like I said, the Chargers and the Colts, but I think Seattle has a little bit more talent, a little bit more consistency over the last couple of years, especially like the other 2 quarterbacks. They're coming off of injuries and the end of their season. And Geno Smith, even though he had a down year last year, I think he has a lot of talent around him that can kind of compensate for that this coming season. So, and those cornerbacks are another year into being arguably the best cornerback duo in the NFL. So, I got Seattle at 20.
All right, yeah, I agree with that, man. And it's on Geno. We're gonna see. You said 20, right?
Yeah.
I noticed. All right. I know everybody's high on them. And listen, but I think Atlanta, man. I understand they have Kirk Cousins and they have a high power offense, but they have the defensive minded coach, and their defense is going to be horrible. They don't have no edge rushers. So they're gonna have to outscore their opponents, which I understand and get, but like, golly, that's a tough one, man. Atlanta's in a tough spot. Or it's a couple teams. This is where it's gonna be like teams. These teams could make the playoffs if they go on a run. We don't know, but you know, who do you 19? Do you agree?
Yeah, I got the Falcons too. I like what they did with Cousins if he's healthy.
Yeah.
And I think they can make the playoffs, and then they have a really good player at each position on offense, wide receiver, running back, tight end. They just need to utilize them and just make it work. And Kirk Cousins is the guy for that. But like you said, the defense, I don't see it. I thought they should have won defense first in the in the draft, and they ended up getting some defensive players later, but. I don't know. I just thought they could have prioritized the draft picks better, but they were looking for a future, which is fine. But it's kind of it was just weird to me how it happened. But so I'm going with the Falcons there. I think they have a winnable division.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how everything works out.
All right, 18.
18. I have the Jags.
Yeah, that's where I got them at.
The Jags are
exactly where I got them at.
Jags are a good team. I thought they probably should have done a better job to try to get another number one wide receiver. Maybe who did they get? Coleman or Thomas?
Coleman.
They got Coleman.
No. They got Thomas. Brian Thomas Jr. from Houston, yes.
Okay, so they got Thomas. Maybe he can be the number one eventually. Maybe not next year, but he can kind of transition into that because they lost Calvin Ridley. They still got Jones. They still got.
They cut Zay Jones.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well.
Yeah, they cut him because they got Kirk and. Who else do they got? They got somebody else. Yeah, but they
got Christian Kirk and they got Gabe Davis. That's right.
Gabe Davis, yeah. They let him go,
So their wide receivers should be decent, along with Brian Thomas, Travis Etienne. I thought
they got Evan Ingram too.
I thought Tank Bigsby was going to be better last year. Maybe he'll be a better number 2 coming in this year. Evan Ingram's still there. So they have some pieces. I don't know what happened last year. They just ended horribly last year down the stretch. So hopefully they can put that behind them, and then because their division is winnable, just like the NFC South. So
yeah,
they should be. I mean, I don't know who's going to really win. I don't know. It probably be the Texans are probably definitely the front runner, but the Jaguars.
That division is wonky, man.
The Jags and Colts are right there with them.
Yeah. It's not like it's not like the AFC East where it's going to be Miami and Buffalo, or it's going to be Cincinnati and Baltimore. We're not saying Cleveland and Pittsburgh are good. It's just like they're not on that level. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the ranking where it's like, it gets not cloudy, but it could be some. It's good. It could be some playoff teams here. So, but I totally agree with Jacksonville Jaguars. Was that 18?
Yeah, 18.
We're on 17.
Yeah.
I gotta go Tampa Bay Bucks. I gotta go with the Bucks just because I think they're bringing everybody back, but the NFC is starting to get a little thick. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No. You know what? I got the Bears right there. Tampa is the next one down, but I got the Bears right there. Caleb Williams, I think it's going to be good. He's in a great situation, but his division is real. Okay, now bearing injury, he's got to see Jared Goff twice, Jordan Love twice. Jordan Love has something to prove. Not only is people not really talking about him like that, right? And he has a chance to take away the division, but we'll talk about the Packers because the Packers are ranked high, right, on your list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the Bears right there, but Tampa's coming right, coming to a theater near you. Yeah. So I have the Bears at 17.
I got the Bucks at 17. I think the Bucks are going to be solid. They're probably going to be the front runners in that division.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield had a phenomenal year last year. Mike Evans continues his Hall of Fame career.
He's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame.
The running back White, he was really good last year. Can catch out of the backfield. They lost a lot of pieces on defense.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting a little older anyway on defense, and just not as consistent as they were when they won the championship.
Yeah.
But, I just thought they lost some depth there at a lot of those key positions on defense. So they still should be the favorite, I think, or at least between them and the Falcons. Go either way, especially if Kirk Cousins is healthy. Might have to lean the other way, but if Baker Mayfield can play like that again this year and follow it up what he did last year, and they drafted another wide receiver, so he's going to be waiting in the wings eventually, or he can probably be the challenge to be the third wide receiver on that team. So I got the Bucks at 17.
Yeah. Man, Mike Evans is putting together he's putting together a Hall of Fame resume.
Oh, he's definitely Hall of Famer, easily. He's never had less than 1,000 yards in a season.
Yeah, he's putting up, and I think he could play at a high level for about 3 more years. I do. I think
that speaks to his work, his I don't know, his availability definitely. Like his work ethic and just his work ethic and his ability to go out there and just constantly just be out there and play and make catches and make plays for whoever's at quarterback is crazy. So
yeah,
I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer to me, just because of what he's. How do you just not have less than 1,000 yards ever?
Yeah,
I know he's 17 games, but he was doing it back when it was 16.
Yeah, he was doing it. He's been. I'm looking at the stats right now. He's been doing it ever since no matter quarterback put 1,000 yards.
I mean, that's
hard to do. That's hard to do.
I gotta give him.
And he has 94 total touchdowns and 11,680 yards. I don't know where that's on the all-time list, but he's balling out.
I think even a season where he missed some games, he still had 1,000 yards easily.
Yes. Yep.
So I mean, he doesn't really miss that many, but
no, he doesn't miss it. He's averaging 15 games, 16. He played 15 games, 16 games, 15, 16, 13, 16, 16, 15, 17. He's available. He might miss a game or two, but he's available. That's what matters. Okay. 16.
I got the Bears at 16.
There we go. Okay. They were really close. They were really right there.
Yeah, I wanted to put them higher, but I'm just in the wait and see. Wait, because they got talent. They have way more talent this year than they've had probably ever. For at least in years, and maybe since '85. I don't know. Probably more recently than that because they went to the Super Bowl against the Colts. But I mean, this team just has talent, especially on offense. It just has to all come together, and I mean, they really loaded up for Caleb with the talent around him. Like there should be kind of no, I ain't gonna say no excuse for him to have a bad season, but he's pretty much in a great position to go out there and have arguably the best rookie quarterback season ever. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to do that or not, but he has the talent around him to actually make that happen. So I'm just waiting to see what happens, man, because this should be a very interesting upcoming season for the Bears. Something they haven't really had in years.
Really?
I can't remember the last time there's been like a buzz around the Bears. I don't remember. At least not recently. I don't think. I mean, Fields went.
When they had Cutler, it was a little. It wasn't a buzz, but they were decent.
When they had who?
Cutler, Jay Cutler, and then they had Violent Urlacher. They were okay.
I mean, like, I don't know. It just seems like it's
not a big buzz. It's a big buzz. Yeah,
it's a lot different now, especially with the guys that they got around them. So
Caleb wins one Super Bowl in Chicago. One. The legend.
I mean, I guess the best quarterback in Bears history is Jay Cutler.
Yeah, if he wins an MVP, no, they've never had a 4,000-yard passer.
That's not saying a lot at all.
No, that's crazy.
I mean, other than that, it's probably Jim McMahon.
That's crazy.
That's because he won a Super Bowl. So this is an opportunity and this is something that they didn't do with Fields, which I wish they would have done, which is put talent around Fields. So hopefully they seem to be doing
there. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Poles was there, but by the time Poles made the trade, they drafted. Who did they draft high? No, because they got DJ Moore. So by the time Poles there, he was like, "Oh, y'all tripping? He needs weapons." But Poles was only under him for a year, and then he's like, "Well, I didn't know I was gonna have another one pick." But yeah. It sucks for Justin Fields, but man, the destiny's in his hands. Cause destiny's is in his hands. Cause this is the next team up. Speaking about Justin Fields, I got Pittsburgh Steelers right here. Right? What's that? We're 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh Steelers right there, which is not saying it's not a bad thing. They're really good. It's just that a question of quarterback. If Russ turns back time, if Russ even plays like he did last year, they're in a good spot. But I don't know if he can do that because he's kind of, I don't know, man. He's weird. It's not weird. I'm a big Russ fan. You know that. I love Russell Wilson. He's just acting different. Like he said in GQ, he was like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I paved the way for the Patrick Mahomes. And it's, wait, time out. You can't say that. You can't, because there was Michael Vick before you. And Randall Cunningham, and Warren Moon, and Steve McNair. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't just like. I get it, right? Doug Williams. It's just like because Michael Vick doesn't even say it. Michael Vick be like, man, I just tried to ball out. So it's we're gonna see, but Justin Fields is your shot. You had Pittsburgh the same?
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh at was that 6-15? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see who starts a quarterback. They don't have, I mean, I guess they did draft a receiver, so I want to see how he fits with Pickens. They have two good running backs. I'm not a fan of the offensive line. The defense wasn't great last year, even though they have great defensive players. It just wasn't statistically. It wasn't great. Now they gotta figure that out. There was a lot of guys hurt and things like that. So, I think Pittsburgh is going to be all right. They have arguably one of the best coaches, and he's never had a losing season. So, at least they have two competent quarterbacks now that they can rely at least. Well,
if Russ gets hurt, they
I
got
guess
they'll be okay, or
I guess
they can
you could
push
say
each other.
they're competent. I don't know, man. Russ has been competent. He's shown it in the past, but that was years and years ago. I mean, even last year though, his stats were really good. But if you look deeper into it and some of the plays that he made or didn't make and some of his decision making, it was kind of shaky. So, I don't know if they're gonna let Russ cook like they've been saying over the last couple of years, or if Russ is gonna have to try to follow the Steelers' way.
He don't need to cook nothing.
He doesn't need to get his own office separate from the rest of the team like he had in Denver or whatever it is. Just come in here and just be one of the guys. Just be a regular one of the 53 and try to teach Justin Fields as much as you can about the game of football. And
I hope he does that.
Pittsburgh will at least have another winning season.
I hope he does that. I hope
at least another winning season.
I hope he does. Because if they don't and he's there, it's going to be anyway. 13, right?
14.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
What is going on? But I might have to do. We're at 14. I gotta go Cleveland, man. I gotta go Cleveland. I don't know about Deshaun Watson. I don't know. He has everything in place for him. Good coach, good defense, good weapons, good O-line. There's not there. He has no excuse. If Mr. Watson doesn't get it done this year, he's still gonna get paid, but it'll be another sad story. So I got Cleveland. Who do you got right there?
I got the Jets. I'm still.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that.
I want to put them higher just because they got Aaron Rodgers and they got some really good talent around. The offensive line should be better. They were offensive line draft. They didn't take the bait and go with Brock Bowers.
Smart.
They went out and got Mike Williams if he can stay healthy. And then they drafted a wide receiver in the NFL draft. Still got really good defense, obviously. And then they got I forgot to talk about Breece Hall at running back. So as long as Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, and he looks like somewhat of a competent Aaron Rodgers like they had in Green Bay a few years ago, the team should be competing for a playoff spot. I'm just not ready to buy all into it right now. I'm just not ready to buy 100% all into it right this point. We'll have to. I'm still on a wait and see because I want to know if Aaron Rodgers, how's he going to. I want to see Aaron Rodgers basically play because he's been off for a whole year, or he will have been, and just how everything else meshes up around him. And plus, this is pretty much it for Robert Salah. So this is, I mean, it's pretty much playoffs or bust for him. So
yeah.
But yeah, I got the Jets at 14.
I agree with that. That to my 13. So who's your 13?
Cleveland.
They were right there. I agree with you with the Jets. Like they have a chance to, especially with the division, they got a chance. Aaron Rodgers, he stays healthy, they have a chance.
I like Cleveland, especially what happened. Deshaun doesn't give me any type of confidence at all. But the rest of the team, if they can, it's unfortunate they don't have Joe Flacco. Or maybe it is fortunate for them because if Joe Flacco was there and Deshaun Watson's starting to play like trash, the crowd's going to want Joe Flacco to come in because of what he did last year for that team and rallied the team around him and made the playoffs. So maybe it's a good thing that he's not there. I think he's in Indianapolis now. So
yes.
But man, Deshaun really, I wouldn't be surprised if this team doesn't make the playoffs just because Deshaun, the way he's been playing the last couple of years, he just hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked like a top 5 paid NFL quarterback. And that's pretty much my only concern about this team is the quarterback position. I like the wide receivers. I like the running back. The defense is going to be really good. The offensive line is good. Hopefully Chubb comes back. He's healthy. They got so much depth at the running back spot, though. So Ford and they got Foreman. So to go along with Chubb, I don't know what Foreman's going to be able to do there in that backfield because it's so crowded. But they got to figure something out with the quarterback, man.
Yeah, because I don't know. They're like they have a team. He has no excuse, man. He has none.
He doesn't have any excuses.
None.
Especially with they went out and they got Judy for him. They brought in Elijah Moore last year, and they still have Amari Cooper and Njoku and Chubb.
They have everybody.
They have a really good defense. Like I think they had one of the best defense.
Had one of the best defense last year.
Yeah, so there's really no excuse.
No, there's none.
After this point, if he doesn't produce this year, I mean, they can't really trade him because nobody wants to take on that contract, and plus he's not playing good. So who would want, even though he's young, who would want a quarterback not playing great and getting paid all that money? No. So I don't know. The Browns are screwed if this doesn't work out for couple of years, I guess, couple more years.
Yeah, so if he doesn't play good next year, his cap. Oh, you don't want to see his dead cap hit.
But I don't think they're going to outright release him. That'd be dumb.
Yeah, 136.
Yeah, I wouldn't outright release.
And outright release $109 million.
They're screwed. There's nothing they can do.
Then 2026, the dead cap is $72 million.
Maybe they wait till 2026 or something. I don't know, man. They're just
2027 is when they can get him off the books. So he might be there for another 3 years. 3 years. That's an ironclad contract. 3 years.
I'm glad he didn't go to Carolina because I know they were
going to the Commanders, man. Look at this.
Team that won it. Man, that's tough.
That's tough, man. All right, we are at number 12.
Number 12, I have the Rams. I'm still waiting. I like what they did last year. They even looked good against the Lions in the playoffs. Could have won that game.
Yeah, I like them right there.
I like Stafford. Puka Nacua came along out of nowhere last year. Cooper Kupp is always up and down. He's always hurt. They got Williams and Evans in the backfield. The defense should be okay, I guess. But it's the offense that's going to really try to push this team. And I think as long as Stafford is healthy, I think they have an opportunity to compete for that division possibly, or at least compete for second place. But yeah, I like the Rams.
I like the Rams like that. I don't know, man. I might. They're gonna give the 49ers a run for their money for the division. They're gonna be a good team. I think they're gonna be a good team. The Rams are gonna be a good team. And I love what they did in the draft, build an offensive defensive lines. They built the offensive line through free agency, and in the draft, Brandon Fisk and his teammate Jared Verse from Florida State was excellent. So, I mean, that's just a moment when they talk to each other on the phone, man. So, shout out to the Rams. Number 11. I'm gonna go Dallas Cowboys, man. Yeah, we starting to get to the top tier teams, and unfortunately, they do really good during the regular season. And then after the playoffs start, I don't know what happens. I don't know. But they're gonna be good. Like that they play good. They have a good team. From top to bottom. They have CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in the league, right? After last year. They have Cooks as the second receiver. Their running back, we don't know who that is. They have a good old line. They have Dak. On the defensive side, they got Michael Parsons. And they got Diggs and Bland. They're loaded. DeMarcus Lawrence on the line, they loaded, man. They're loaded. So, that's who I have right there. Who do you have right there?
I got the Dolphins. Like I wanted to put them higher. I just can't because I don't trust this team, especially when it gets late in the season. I gotta wait for the schedule to come out. But if they have some late games where they're playing in Buffalo or Baltimore, or I don't know who's on the schedule, but if they play some of these cold weather teams outside, I can't trust them. And then they get to the playoffs and they gotta play on the road against another team that's in cold weather, or they gotta hope they either play at home or play in a dome.
Yeah,
at that point, because
them and Dallas are real similar.
I just do not like. I think Dallas is real cold better than this team, though. This team is just
but Dallas doesn't. So the two things that's always synonymous with Dallas and Miami are two great regular season teams that look good at home, and then in the playoffs they stink.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just I just don't trust this team. Like the offense was phenomenal last year, or at least it looked good. Who's the running back? Devon Achin. He looked phenomenal in his games that he played. He was getting like 100.
Mostert,
like 10 yards a carry or 8 yards a carry. Mostert is really good. He's just getting up there in age a little bit. They drafted the kid Wright, the running back. So that's another running back that they got. They went out and they signed Odell. They already had Hill and Waddle had a down year last year, but they had Waddle, Hill, and now they got Beckham. So now they have at least a third wide receiver they can throw the ball to. They got John Smith. They have all these pieces, and then they lost some pieces on defense. So they got to try to retool up there. They didn't really draft or get anybody of note for the most part. Obviously, they already had Jalen Ramsey. They got Kendall Fuller. They lost some other pieces, but and then Tua looked pretty good last year. Everybody was concerned about him being healthy with the concussions and all that.
Yeah, he did.
He's healthy, but this team, man, it's so iffy. Like if they go up against a really good team, it's just like they disappear sometimes. So I just don't. I don't really have any faith in them unless they can find a way to get home field.
All right, so that was what, 12?
That was 11.
That was 11. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Miami, man, they're loaded. And I just look at their roster. Guess who else they have on defense? They got Jordan Poyer as a strong safety and Javon Holland. So I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting team, but I agree with you.
Their secondary should be solid, but
their pass rush might be.
They lost some pieces.
Might be depleted.
They still got Chubb though, but
he's coming off an injury. Jalen Phillips coming off an injury, and they got Chop Robinson, so they might be all right. Their pass rush might be all right. We gotta see. They got a very interesting team.
They just need to push for field, but
they got it. They get home field. That's gonna be tough. Are we at 10?
Yeah.
The top 10, Craig, kick it off. Who's the top 10 team?
Dallas. Dallas they're obviously a really good regular season team. Obviously, they won 12 games the last 3 seasons in a row. They went out and they got Zeke again. They lost Pollard. I thought they needed to get a wide receiver in the draft. They didn't do that. So now it's pretty much just CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. I don't know how far that can really take this team. And that give him credit, he played great last year. Vander Esch is not there anymore, even though he was hurt from a lot of his time there. They're getting Diggs back. Bland is still there. I think he had a great year last year in terms of picks. Obviously, they still got Parsons. So so I mean, the Cowboys are always still going to be around. They're still always going to play well and be there, and most likely make the playoffs again. It's just getting past the second round is obviously their thing. But their team is going to be. I mean, they're loaded again, except for trying to find another wide receiver. I thought they, like I said, I think they did draft one, but it was kind of late. But Dallas is just going to be another. They're going to disappoint us again, or not us, but I know it's going again. I know what's going to happen. I'm surprised they won the division last year. I didn't see that coming, but in terms of them going back to back, and for the first time since 2004, I don't see that happening this year. So
my number 10 for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Eagles are. Whoa. Yeah, I think so. Because I got. Hold on. Let me make sure. Mm, 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 mm. Hold on that. Oh, I might have said a team twice. So who did I have? Okay. Miami. Yeah, I got Philly at 10.
Okay.
Yeah, because I already said Dallas. Okay, and then I switched that with Miami. Yeah, top 10, yeah. But I think they could win a division. I think they can vie for the number 1 seed in NFC. I think Philly's going to be really good this year. I want to see. They were on a bad collapse last year, but nobody in the NFC East has won back to back since Philly did it. So I think Philly wins the division. Who's your top 10?
10, I got the Bills. Or no, 9, I got the Bills.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, I got the Bills. I'm just not. I'm losing faith in Buffalo the last couple of years. They lost some key players. They just traded away. Obviously, they're number 1 in Diggs. They let Gabe Davis go. They did draft Coleman, and they still had. They went out and they signed Curtis Samuel, but Curtis Samuel was always hurt.
Yeah.
Their running backs, they drafted Davis. They still have Cook, Dalton Kincaid. The only reason why I put him higher than Dallas is because I like their quarterback better. They lost, and obviously he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Even though he kind of does a lot of like trying to do too much, trying to be Superman a lot of times.
Yeah,
he'll throw some interceptions, like we saw against the Chiefs.
It makes him out of whack.
Yeah. So he'll take some chances. Sometimes he'll hit on them. Sometimes he'll miss on them. The defense, they lost a lot of players on defense. A lot of those guys were hurt last year anyway. But I mean, I don't know, man. They just not getting a lot of turnover from the last, or a lot of re-signees, I should say, from last year. At least not a lot of the big name ones. Mm-hmm. So I think they're still probably gonna be the favorite, but man, I'm just not seeing the same Buffalo team.
I agree with you on that. I think they're about 8th, and I do think they could win the division because of Josh Allen. But just like you said, 2 things: they lost a lot of pieces, and I like Dalton Kincaid. I like Coleman. And I like. Oh, gosh, Lee, man. The running back.
James Cook?
James Cook, yes. James Cook had a phenomenal year. It was on the tip of my tongue because I saw a highlight from his brother, Dalvin Cook, which is crazy why he's not playing anymore. That's another topic.
He's in Baltimore, I think, right?
Is he in Baltimore?
I think he's still
is. I thought he was a free agent. Let me look. Because I thought they said he was a free agent. I could be wrong.
He might be. Oh, yeah, he's a free agent.
Not. Yeah, he's a free agent, yo. Which is crazy to me. It's crazy. I don't know, but yeah, James Cook is balling. So I just think they lost too much. And we're going to see who the real Slim Shady is. Please stand up, Josh Allen, because that's the position you're in. Let's see. Now, I think he's going to win the division, but if he plays erratic and don't pull some of that back, I don't know if they go into a hole like they did last year. I don't know if they climb out of it. I don't know if they have the enough talent on both sides of the ball. Number 8.
I got Cincinnati.
Okay.
I'm just still waiting to see what they're gonna do, if they're gonna do anything with Higgins, and I'm still hoping that Joe Burrow comes back healthy and he's ready to go. They just lost Tyler Boyd. Mm-hmm. They lost Joe Mixon, so they got. Zach Moss. He played. For the time that Taylor was out, he was running the ball great. And then they as soon as he gets back, they just don't go back to him enough. And then there's I thought it should be a little bit of a split or something like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously more in the favor of Taylor, but Zach Moss just seemed to disappear. So hopefully he can get that back in Cincinnati. And if he has a season like he was on track to have last year, that could definitely be a huge piece for that offense that they thought that they lost when they lost Joe Mixon. So. But yeah, I like that. The offensive line is still, offensive line is what it is at this point. They try to add pieces last season, and it was okay, but it didn't wow. It didn't wow me anyway. So we have to see what happens there. I think they might need another third. I think they try to find a third wide receiver. Mm-hmm. They don't have one at this point now. The team was so used to having three good wide receivers. Now they just have 2, or they might have 1. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen there? And then the defense, I don't know, man. The defense is okay, I guess. We'll see what happens in the when the season starts. But as long as Burrow is healthy and he can make plays, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know what they're going to do with T. Higgins, but I don't think they want to trade him. I don't think they do. Just like I don't think San Francisco wants to trade Ayuk, but I think San Francisco is going to end up signing Ayuk. I think they're going to let T. Higgins play on this 1 year to try to go all in. And I think Cincinnati going to let him walk. And if you're him, you're like, am I going to sit out, or am I going to get paid and then ball out? And then, because the franchise tags is going to be, damn, I don't want to not play on it. I don't want to pull a Le'Veon Bell. I'm going to play on it, ball out. Boom, there it is. Number 8? Did we say number 8 yet?
Yeah, that was 8. We're on 7.
Number 7? You got the Packers?
No, I got the Eagles.
The Eagles? Okay. All right.
I got the Eagles. I'm obviously Hurts was hurt last year. Team lost 6 games in a row, or 6 of 7 or something like that. I think it was 6 of 7. Their secondary was horrible.
6 of 7.
Secondary was horrible. The defense in general was horrible. So they went out and they addressed that in the draft. They got 2 of the best cornerbacks that they could have got. They went out and they signed in the offseason. They went out and signed some free agents. They signed what's the dude's name? Garner Johnson. Garner Johnson.
Garner Johnson.
Yeah, they already had Bradbury.
Mm-hmm.
They already had Slay. So they got some talent, man. They got some pieces there, some young pieces with Mitchell and Cooper DeJean.
Mm-hmm.
So they already had the defensive line was already pretty good with Carter, and then they still have Dean,
Jordan Davis,
Kobe Dean.
They got Devin White now.
They got Devin White in the offseason, so that was huge, I guess, for them. So their defense should be, you would think it should be improved. We'll see what happens. The offense is still going to be good. They didn't really need to do too much there. They did go and get Saquon, which is definitely going to improve that running game. I thought the running game was pretty good last year. With Swift, it's going to be even better with Saquon.
Way better.
So,
way better.
The offense, as long as Hurts is healthy, the offense should be ridiculously better. I think they drafted another wide receiver. They signed Smith and Brown.
Yeah,
so those guys don't have to worry about anything at this point. Dallas Goedert is going to be healthy. They did lose Kelsey, so they got to figure that out. Who's going to take over for him? But everything else, man, their offense is crazy.
Their offense is nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
Okay, I understand 8. Okay, so that means you got the Packers high.
No, that was 7. That was 7.
Okay, I was about to say, wait a minute. Are they in the top 5?
Packers?
Yeah, but I had Packers around this. I just think the Packers are going to do phenomenal. I think their offense is loaded, and I think Jordan Love has something to prove. He's not getting talked about enough, and you know I've been like Jordan Love, guys. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, Craig's a witness." I always liked Jordan Love from Utah. I wanted the Commanders to get him, but he would have probably loved him at the Panthers. But knowing our organizations, we probably would have ruined him. For real. So I think that their offense is loaded, Craig. They got Josh Jacobs, and listen, there's nothing wrong with Aaron Jones, but Josh Jacobs, I think, is a younger model. You know, and they got the young receivers coming back. They all are going to be all underneath Jordan Love. They drafted a offensive lineman in a draft. That's what they need to address. They're gonna have a good defense. They're always gonna get past. Preston Smith is gonna give you a good 8 sacks. Kenny Clark's good. Rashawn Gary, Quan Walker, one of the best underrated linebackers. Jair Alexander, Xavier McKinley, they're loaded, man. So I shout out to the Packers. I have some big expectations for the Green Bay Packers this year. And you do too at number 7, Craig.
This is number 6, man.
Number 6. No, you said you had them 7, right?
No, the Eagles were at 7.
And the Packers are at 6.
Yeah, the Packers I got at 6.
Okay, yeah. Why do you have them that
high? Well, Jordan Love is back for his second full season.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of young wide receivers that he was able to grow with last year and get that camaraderie and that rapport with last year on the field. So now they're more comfortable with each other going into year 2 under this offense. They went out and they got Josh Jacobs, who I like. They drafted Marshawn Lloyd in the so he can probably be the number 2, or at least he'll compete with AJ Dillon for that number 2 spot. They still have 2 good tight ends, 2 good young tight ends, I guess. And their defense is still going to be pretty solid. It's going to be still pretty good. I like it. I like Xavier McKinney going there. Rashawn Gary is still there. Quay Walker's still there. So, I mean, this team is going to be around for a little while. I think they're one of the youngest teams in the NFL. So if they all can just stay together, their opportunities are right there for them. They had an opportunity last year in the playoffs. So if they play like that, and then obviously the way they went into Dallas and they just destroyed Dallas. And I mean, they definitely have a lot of confidence, and they definitely have a lot of people talking about them this year in terms of them winning the division possibly competing to win that division. So and it's rightfully so. So I'm going with the Packers at number 6, just outside my top 5. But
all right,
they're right there.
That's pretty big. So I can only imagine who's in the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, okay. Who's your number 5 team? I think I can make an educated guess.
I have the Texans.
Texans, I knew it. Yeah.
I like the Texans.
I mean, they're good.
They came out of nowhere last year. They're not going to surprise any teams this year, I don't think. A lot of people know how, or at least they should know how good C.J. Stroud is. Nico Collins and Tank Dell are really good wide receivers. And then you add in a Stephon Diggs. So you also have Joe Mixon there. Damian Pierce he's been having a down couple seasons. So now you don't have to be and he wasn't the starter last year. They had Singletary, but now he's behind Joe Mixon, who's a really good running back. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you just add extra pieces to that group. The defense was really good. Was pretty solid last year. Definitely, I guess it was. You can say it was great compared to how it's been in the past. Mm-hmm. So their defense was. They looked a lot better last year under Ryans at the coaching spot. So I can only imagine how good their defense is going to be again this year, especially since he's a defensive-minded coach. Mm-hmm. But just that offense in general, man, just has me excited for what's to come this year. Mm-hmm. And the addition of Stephon Diggs, I mean, he was playing. C.J. Stroud played great last year without Diggs. I can only and without Mixon. I can only imagine what happens when you add in a Pro Bowl wide receiver and a Pro Bowl running back to that group. It's gonna make his life so much easier.
Yeah. So, I agree with you, man. Houston, top 5. Charlotte DeRose, man. Made the top 5. Yeah, as soon as when CJ Stroud got drafted, I texted him, I was like, hey, listen, y'all about to be great for a long time. I said, this is a good young man. I said, y'all got a good young man. Don't worry. She was like, oh, okay. You know, I've been hearing stuff about him. I was like, no, he's going to be like that. I'm telling you. And he's set up for success. He's still on the rookie contract. So, hey, I'm going to tell you this. This is the time to go all in. The Texans are doing it right. And you know the crazy thing? Their GM, Nick Caserio, is from the New England Patriots. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Craig, Houston's 5, number 4.
Lions.
There we go. Easy.
I like the Lions.
Yeah, they're vicious.
They came out last year, and I think a lot of people had high praise for them. Or before the season started, they were because they were starting to trend in the right direction. Especially how they ended the previous season off against Green Bay, and they went there and they stopped them from making the playoffs. When that game, I think it was on the road, and you know, they had I think they finished like 8-9 or 9-8 or something like that. I can't remember, but then last year comes and then they go out, and a lot of people, including myself, were kind of trashing the first pick when they took Gibbs. I really wasn't feeling it. I thought they should have went somewhere else. Then they took Campbell, the linebacker. Wasn't feeling that either, and I mean they made a believer out of me. So their offensive line with Sewell on one side, it still looks pretty good. I wish they had went out and they got another edge though, or at least somebody else that can rush the quarterback a little bit besides Hutchinson. I just wish they would have addressed that a little bit more. They also lost Garner Johnson, but they got the rookie Arnold, Terry Arnold, I believe. So they got him. Yeah. So they had a plan in place at least for that. And
they have Carlton Davis too. He's the other starting quarter. Yeah.
Okay. So and then you also look, like I said, the offense with Jameson Williams. If he can be, I know he was suspended and all that, and he hasn't played well, but he can be a guy that can stretch the field if he can stay healthy. St. Brown is a beast. Sam Laporta came out. I mean, he was a rookie last year. He was really good last year as well. Jared Goff looked phenomenal. He looked like a younger version of himself, like the Rams version of himself. So I like what the Lions are doing. They had an opportunity. They could have won that game last year. They could have been in the Super Bowl, but a couple of missed opportunities, and he found himself on the outside.
All right.
Yeah, I got him at 4.
I think I know your number 3. Are you right down the street from it?
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens.
Definitely the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens are probably the only team that's more run than pass.
Mm-hmm.
That I can think. I mean, they
run a lot.
Yeah, and then they're not going to stop running because they have Lamar and they have Derrick Henry, so they're going to just keep running the ball there. I want to see more out of Bateman. He was a former first round pick. He hasn't lived up to, even though it was a late first round pick, like in the 20s, but
yeah,
he hasn't lived up to a first round talent or first round draft pick. So, I like Tez Walker. If he can just hold on to the ball, I know he had some drops and some issues and things like that. If he can hold on to the ball, he's going to be really good for this team. Zay Flowers is really good, obviously. They don't really need a second running back, especially if Henry stays healthy. Mark Andrews, if he can stay healthy. Obviously, if Lamar can stay healthy, the team is, you saw what happened last year, MVP season, really good team. The defense is always going to be good as long as everybody on that defensive side can stay healthy as well. But, yeah, the Ravens, man, they're going to be really good again. I don't see why they wouldn't be unless injuries happen, but I like Baltimore.
I agree with you. Hopefully, Zay Flowers. I hope he takes the next step. And
didn't he get arrested for something?
Zay Flowers.
Or
I didn't hear he.
Domestic.
I know Rasheem. I know. Well, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, it was not too long ago.
Oh, here it is, right here.
Yeah, domestic violence. He's no longer He's no longer under.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
He hasn't been charged. He hasn't been charged.
Yeah.
Hey, young man, be careful. Be careful. Yeah, I agree with them. They're going to pound the rock. They're going to pound it, and their defense. It's like, oh, they ain't re-signed anybody. It's like, wait a minute, man. They got Marlon, they got Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams, and I feel like, did they draft
Nate Wiggins? The corner from Clemson.
Man, they're about to. And they still got Justin Tucker. They're going to be good. They're going to be one of the best teams. And if they do what they did last year, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Might be a repeat of the championship game. Who knows? San Francisco, of course, is the second one. I mean, they're loaded. They have the best running back in the game, best left tackle in the game. One of the best edge rushers in the game, Ufanga, who was hurt last year, is one of the best strong safeties in the game. They have Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in the game. They have Brandon Ayuk, who they're about to give a long-term extension. They just drafted another receiver, and they got Deebo Samuel, and they have George Kittle. So, and they got Brock Purdy. They're loaded, man. They're loaded. Now, I want to see how they bounce back after the Super Bowl loss. I want to see how they bounce back, but they should. It took them a while to get back to Super Bowl, but I want to see they're good. So, what do you think about San Francisco?
Yeah, I like San Francisco. Obviously, they had a couple of hiccups last year in that game against Detroit. They could have lost that game easily, but they were able to persevere and just come back in the second half and put them away. But man, yeah, their offense is going to be really good. You mentioned everything. Brock Purdy is going into year number 3, so he should be able to expand on what he's done the last couple of seasons. The defense is going to be really good. Obviously, they're well coached. I don't have anything bad to say about San Francisco. I don't really see too many, if any, flaws or holes in their team. I just can't put them at number 1, basically because they didn't win the Super Bowl last year, and their quarterback is not as good as the other one. But I think they're definitely the best team in the NFC. But it's not going to be a cakewalk for them to make it back to the Super Bowl again this year. So.
And number 1 team, guys, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Easy.
They're loaded. They're back. I have not made my picks official, but if they went back to back to back, it would not surprise me. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I haven't picked it yet, but
I think the Rice suspension or whatever is going to happen is going to come down. Hopefully it'll come down soon, so that way he knows what he's going to face.
Yeah, because something else just came up. He crashed the car, and then something else just came up.
Oh, really? I didn't hear the other thing.
Yeah, hold on. It just came up on. He did something where. So remember, he crashed a Lamborghini. And he's suspected in. He might have assaulted somebody in Dallas.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, wait. Okay, no. Allegation comes over a little over a month. He was involved in a multi-hit and run. And hold on, let me see. Because I thought. Anyway, it has to do something with the crash. It looks like it has something to do with the car crash, but it's something else that just came up.
It doesn't really. I mean, other than Rice being out for a couple games, however many games it's going to be, I think they still have enough with Worthy, the rookie that is drafted, Hollywood Brown, which I thought was a really good signing for them, just because they needed a veteran wide receiver because they can't rely on Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney or whoever else they got in that wide receiver group to be your star wide receiver, especially while Rice is going to be out. And Kelsey's getting a little older.
Sorry. Okay. He was charged. He's suspected in an alleged assault at a Dallas nightclub that just passed Monday morning. That just happened yesterday. So not only was he involved in the multi-crash, last night he got involved. He's suspected of an assault at a Dallas nightclub. So the Chiefs might have known he might not be.
He's just digging himself into a deeper hole at this point.
Well, he's still young. Get out of it. I'm not gonna say, but Chiefs probably. They probably seen it.
Seen what happened with the receiver from played with the Raiders and see what happened to him. And I mean, not the same thing because he didn't kill anybody, but him dropping those high schools and Lamborghini, you never know what's going to happen. But
you hurt somebody.
So, but yeah, Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL. Their defense is still going to be really, really good. Chris Jones was a high priority for them. They did lose Snead, which, I mean, that sucks because he was phenomenal in the playoffs. Pretty much phenomenal all season. I mean, he was just great. Made some key plays in the playoffs last year, especially in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, that's a huge loss for them. But their key was signing Jones, and that's what they did. That was their priority. But everything else, man, I think is a plus for them. As long as Rice can come back and he's ready for the playoffs, and he's got his head on straight and he's ready to go and just focus on football, I think the Chiefs are going to be, even without him, though, I think with Worthy and Brown, they should be pretty good.
Yeah. They're going to
definitely be one of the favorites again.
Yeah, they are.
And Andy Reid, I forgot about him.
Yeah. Just, you know what I'm saying? They are. They have an all-star talented roster. Like this, they're a dynasty, and they're that. And Patrick Mahomes ain't going nowhere, so they're going to be good for a long time. They're going to be good for a long time. You know, he's gonna go on a good 10, 15 year stretch where he's in a lot of Super Bowls, or you know, he's probably gonna have a Kobe Bryant stretch or a LeBron stretch. We're just gonna see him at the championship games or Super Bowls for a while, at least 10 years, for a minute. It's gonna be a minute. Anyway, Craig, right now, we're gonna save one of these topics. The NBA teams that lost, we're gonna save that. Right now, we're gonna do your top 5, and then we're gonna get into the NBA playoffs right after your top 5, and we're gonna say who our picks are.
All right, yeah, I got a lot to talk about with the playoffs because this was some crazy thing. But my top 5 right now.
You're talking about the playoffs going on right now, right?
In general, just in general.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right.
So so my top 5 is my top 5 NBA players that will start the season next year at the age of 25 or younger. So I had to take SGA, who was going to be in there, but he turns 26 in August, I think, or July. I think it's July. So he's going to be 26 by that time. So I couldn't put him in this list. I forgot he's been in the league for a little while. Dang, I forgot he was with the Clippers, and now he's with the Thunder. Like he looks young, and he seems like he hasn't been in the league that long, but he's been in the league for a while. But my number 5, I'm going with Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay.
He'll be 24 next year when the season starts. He's one of the best in assists. He's led the league in assists this year. He was up there again last year, albeit he didn't qualify because he didn't play enough games. But he's a phenomenal talent. He can score. He can get you assists. It's just, I mean, he's on a team that I guess is not a popular team, but he was with. I know Sacramento's got to be kicking themselves not to have Tyrese Halliburton on their team anymore. So he's just a great he's a great player. Number 4, I got.
Who did they get instead of him? Go ahead.
They got Sabonis. They traded Sabonis. Sabonis is good though. I mean, he's really good for that team, but
yeah, I see
he plays well. But I mean, you look at what Tyrese Halliburton has done for the Pacers, at least, or he's one of the key players anyway. So this might surprise some people, and it surprised me because I really wasn't going to put him on my list at all because I just had enough of him for a little while. But I can't escape the talent, Ja Morant. He'll be 25 next year. If he can get his head on straight and he gets himself mentally and physically ready to go next year, he's already served his 25-game suspension. He came back and got hurt again, or he got hurt in general, and he was out for the rest of the year. Hopefully he'll be back. I'm not saying Memphis is going to be a playoff team, but they look horrible without him. Anyway, so I don't know if he's going to really – they need to really beef up the roster, but – Ja Morant in general, I mean, he was getting 25, 5, and 8 in only 8 games. So, and he's been playing even better than that when he was on the court and he was healthy and he was ready to go. But fortunately, I haven't, at least to my knowledge, I haven't heard anything from John Morant at all, which I think is a good thing. Kind of taking that whole Kyrie Irving thing approach where he was a big distraction, and then I didn't hear from him for a while. So, and I think that was a good thing because Kyrie playing like MVP Kyrie. So hopefully he can take that approach. My number 3 is Wembanyama. Rookie of the year, led the league in blocks, a double-double, unanimous rookie of the year. 21 and 10. He's only going to be 20 years old by the start of next season.
Crazy. Numbers are crazy.
So he's a great talent. I was going to put him at 2, but I couldn't at this point. But yeah, I really like Wembanyama. Hopefully they get some free agents to sign down there to play alongside him and to go along with Pop. I think he's going to attract a lot of attention, at least from veterans or players around the league and from free agency that possibly, hopefully, could want to go there. Number 2 is Luka. Luka's Luka. I mean, he's getting. I think his career average is 28 points a game.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he keeps going like this, he's going to pass Jordan, and it wouldn't surprise me if somebody passes it, especially with how the NBA is nowadays. But Luka right there, he's only 25, or he only will be 25, and he's gonna. He averaged 34, 9, and 9 this year, which is crazy. So if he keeps putting up numbers like that, or even close to it, I think he's going to be able to pass the overall highest points per game record at this point. But yeah, I like Luka. He just got to work on his defense and some of his conditioning. He looks like he's out of shape, but he's not. It's kind of crazy.
He's not.
I like Luka, man. I'm kind of wondering when he's going to win that MVP though. And obviously, my number 1 is Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards he's to be 23. Jordan said he plays like him. I'm not ready to go there yet. I don't know how you're just going to skip Kobe, who also played like, who's the closest thing I've ever seen to Michael Jordan. How you going to just skip that part? And just
we need to slow up with that, man. Slow up.
Kobe thing, and you could just say he plays like Kobe or something, even though that might be hyperbole too. But I like Anthony Edwards though, man. He's a beast. Like he plays on both sides of the ball, which is rare, I guess, for like a star athlete right now in this day and age, especially since the whole league is pretty much offense. But I like the fact that he plays on both sides. He can get you a bucket. He's athletic. He's just a beast, man. And then he's got this team playing the way they're playing. So I'm going Anthony Edwards, my number 1.
Man, people got to slow up. Well, we're calling Devin Booker, Kobe, slow up. Slow up. But
I mean, but Jordan said it himself. That's the only thing that's kind of giving me.
Listen, I think that
he sees it, but I'm just not ready to do that yet. But
no.
People saying, well, he's got to win a championship. But I'm like, well, Jordan didn't win a championship until he was
27, 28.
So he's got some years left on him. And this is a perfect opportunity for Minnesota. So at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like he's gonna be good. Anyway, Craig. Let's talk about these NBA playoffs. Man. We opened the show with it. It was crazy. So right now, let's talk about this series. These 4 series. I can't wait. We're gonna save the best for last, but we're gonna start off. So right now, Boston looks like they're winning against Cleveland. I have Boston in the sweep. I just think that Boston's the better overall team, man.
I don't have them in a sweep, but
would you have them in 6?
I think I got him in 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 6. I think Boston can give you a couple of letdown games like they had against Miami. They had a letdown game. Saw it last year in the playoffs as well. Porzingis is hurt. I don't know if he's going to be able to play or when he's going to be able to play. So there's opportunities there. And Cleveland is – I think Cleveland is a solid team. I really wanted Orlando to make it. Devin Mitchell's going to need some help, though. Besides him, he's got to be Garland. Mobley's going to have to play a lot better. I mean, they're going to need some help. They're going to need some help. But if they can get, say, Tatum in an off night or Brown in an off night, they're going to need at least one of those guys to have an off night, or try to get 2 of those guys to have an off night between those 2, or maybe even Holiday. And then they got to obviously watch the 3-point line. That's another thing that Boston likes to do, is drag up a lot of threes. So I don't know, man. Cleveland's going to be in for it, but I think they can get at least one game.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Miami got without
they got one.
Jimmy Butler. So.
We'll see. All right. Oklahoma City Thunder and Dallas Mavericks. This is another good one.
I said whoever wins the Clippers Mavericks is going to come out and go to the Western Conference Finals, so I'm still sticking with that. Although Thunder,
it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
It's not a pushover. They're not a pushover, so I wouldn't be surprised if they won. They've been off for a little bit longer. They're getting a little bit more rest. You have an MVP. Well, both teams have an MVP candidate. To me, I guess the X factor is going to be if Kyrie Irving can play like he did the last series.
He's been balling, yo.
He's been
balling. I got Dallas though.
He looks like the best player on the Mavericks.
He's been balling.
Better than Luka.
Yeah.
So, I know SGA is going to bring it. Chet's going to bring it. So, I give me the. I'm picking Dallas. I'm picking Dallas in 6. I mean 7. 7. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm picking Dallas in 7 as well. I think it's going to be a good series, man. I think it's. I think Kyrie's. I don't know about the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I think it's going to be a good series. I think Dallas is going to edge them out.
I'm very, very disappointed in Kawhi Leonard, man. Like, I know
he's not going to play for USA.
Harden, honestly, all 3 of those guys, Harden, Westbrook, and George, are free agents this year. Coming up this year. So they have I don't know if you really want to play with Kawhi again, knowing that even though James Harden said I guess he wants to come back or whatever, knowing that he's just probably not going to be available.
Paul George probably out of there.
Paul George has a player option, but I think he get like 44 million if he stays.
He's gonna get his last big contract.
But
I think opt out and the team can sign him for a 3-year, $80 million. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna opt out to get a team to sign him to him because Philly can sign him. Philly got cap space.
Yeah, but 3 years, $80 million is not.
No, not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying he could win that $44 million. He can opt out and make more money.
But he can only get the most in LA. Because that's the team that has him right now.
Right, but if he opts out, he can. I think he's going to sign somewhere to try to get a championship.
I mean, I would try. I think you can get a championship in with the Clippers. It's just you're going to have to wager.
I would.
Why is going to be healthy?
I'll be out. I will go to Philly where he fits perfect.
He fits perfect, but I mean, they can't get past the first round or second round for the most part.
He'll be back in the East.
Get past
you know what I'm saying? Or join.
Man, he's got both of those options sound good, but you're dealing with 2 guys that are your, I guess, star players that are all have injury issues.
That's why he might be out.
I'm talking about with the Clippers and with the Sixers. Both of those guys have injury issues.
That's true. That's true. But he might.
Yeah, the situation.
New York. He picked good in New York.
New York would be probably.
Yeah. He gonna have options. He gonna
I'd rather
listen. If he goes to New York and wins a championship, he's set. He's set.
Guys that can shoot, Hart and DiVincenzo.
And OG, if I'm him, I'm opting out. I'm opting out
too. So I don't know if the Knicks can re-sign him. That would be a good. They need to try to because they traded for him, so they need to try to.
Yeah, they're gonna re-sign him, but they have cap space and draft picks, so like they can move off Randall, get more cap. I'm telling you, they can move off Randall.
If they move off Randall, they gotta move off Randall. They gotta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or go for what I'm saying. Braun. They gotta go.
If Paul George opts out, he's gonna have his choice of teams to pay him money. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to check, this is if I'm him, I'm opting out. I can make money and win a championship. I'm not doing it on the Clippers because Kawhi's never healthy.
Neither's
James Harden. But Knicks, if he goes to the Knicks, that might be in the finals. Speaking about the Knicks and Pacers. Craig, I have Knicks in this one. Shout out to Jalen Brunson, yo. Shout out. He scored 40 points in 4 straight playoff games. Not a lot of people have done it. And shout out to Brunson, DiVincenzo. Josh Hart is balling. Listen, they got OG. I got the Knicks beating the Pacers, and I'm gonna go 6 games.
Pacers could have won that game last night. I thought they got.
They could have. By the kickball.
And they got screwed by DiVincenzo for flopping. They need to do something about the flopping. It's out of control. It's not as bad as it has been in the past, but some of those calls, you just don't call to some of those, especially in the playoffs. That to me just wasn't an offensive foul. But the Knicks won the game. It is what it is. I think that for the previous series, it's unfortunate that Giannis was hurt, and then Dame got hurt, Portis got hurt, so that was just a very unfortunate coincidence. I did pick Indiana anyway, regardless of who was going to be there, but still, man, that's just unfortunate. The Bucks kind of got. Yeah,
I kind of knew when Giannis was hurt. I was like, nah, and he had cap problems all year. So, to be honest with you, I'm glad they shut him down because I don't want that KD. Listen, I'd rather have a healthy Giannis next year than a Giannis coming off Achilles because I wanted to beat the Pacers in the series. I'd rather just have my health and just run it back next year.
It's just an unfortunate circumstance that this happened in the playoffs, but I did pick the Pacers. The other series, the Knicks Sixers, man, Embiid just, he was, I don't know if he was gassed or just hurt or whatever the case may be, but the fourth quarter, he wasn't there.
I think it was both.
He just wasn't the same Embiid as he was.
Plus, he has heart, though.
Had his number.
I give him that.
OG was kind of D'ing him up a little bit. And then Brunson was just giving him.
Don't you look at him differently, though? I do look at Embiid differently.
I don't look at him
differently. I look at Embiid differently than I look at Kawhi. I feel like at least Embiid tried to fight through. He did. That's Mavericks.
I'm not going to say that because I don't know how severe Kawhi's injury was. Maybe he just couldn't play at all. But man,
Joel was tough. He was dealing with a lot, man.
He's got to come out and at least try to make an effort. I don't know what Kawhi did, but Embiid played through whatever he was going through, and I commend him for that. But they need to get another scorer because Tobias Harris he just wasn't there. He wasn't. I don't know. They need somebody else that can score for them. This series, though, I got the Knicks. I said whoever wins the Knicks Sixers series was going to go to the conference finals against the Celtics. So I'm picking the Knicks. I think the Pacers can definitely. Pacers like to push the ball, so the Knicks going to have to get back on defense. The Pacers going to run, and if Brunson keeps playing like he's playing, I got the Knicks in 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think the Knicks teams are good. All right. This is the final one. Minnesota and Denver. And Minnesota's up 2-0.
I picked
we
Denver.
Both picked Denver. Yeah.
I just wasn't a believer. I thought, man, I didn't have Minnesota making out the first round. So it tells you how much I believed in Minnesota.
Me too. They played Phoenix.
I know Stephen A. Smith came on the radio, came on the TV and said today that he picks Minnesota to win the whole thing. I'm not going that far, but I probably will pick. I think I might. I'm gonna try to stick with Denver.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with Denver right now. I know it seems kind of weird. They lost 2 games at home, and then they got to go 2 on the road. Pretty much, Game 3 is a must win, but
and Game 4, you don't want to go down 3-1.
You don't want to go down 3-0. Nobody's coming back from 3-0.
Nobody's come back 3-0, and 3-1 is one time, right? Was that LeBron?
No, that was just in the finals.
Okay.
People come back.
It's rare to come back though. From 3-1.
Yeah,
I think Denver did it. In the against the Clippers. It doesn't happen. It's super rare. You're sticking with Denver.
I don't know about Minnesota. I'm still waiting for something to happen to them. But they looked good yesterday. Their defense is ridiculous. Obviously they're frustrating Denver when you got Jamal Murray throwing a water bottle.
Crazy. Water bottle, heating pad.
Yeah, heating pad. And a towel on the court.
They're doing this to the ref.
Fortunately, he didn't get suspended. He just got $100,000 fine, which is crazy. But
I wouldn't be if he got suspended. I would not have been surprised. To be honest with you,
I wouldn't have been surprised either, even though it was his first offense. But I mean,
he was wilding out. It's like, come on.
He just was doing a little bit too much in that game. He got to be able to keep his composure when things are going good. Like he's happy and all that. When things are going bad, you got to be able to just maintain the same thing and just be able to just go with it. And I mean, it's not like they were only down by like 17, 16 in the first half, which is, we've seen teams come back from that in the NBA lately all the time, it seems like. So
yeah,
they were at home. So it was a definite possibility that they could have came back and won that game. But man, that defense for Minnesota was just too much.
The defense was too much. Anthony Edwards
Nuggets in 7.
Nuggets in 7. I'm going Wolves, man.
I said that before the season started. Series started. I would have probably said in 6, but
before the season started, I would have said 6. But I think Minnesota's gonna take this. Yeah, listen. Okay. I gotta pick up a fix soon. All right. All I'm saying is this. Yeah, I gotta be out. Where's she at? Oh yeah. I'm not trying to get cussed out. Anyway, man, I gotta make sure I be on top. Anyway, Colin Cowherd said this. It could be true. We could be going into a period where it's because LeBron, Steph, and KD are almost out of there. And Anthony Edwards is young. So if they win the championship this year, he's young. He might not go back to the finals till he's 28, but it could be up for grabs. Because it's hard to go back to back. If Denver doesn't go back to back, it's going to be up for grabs. And then think about it. Who was the last back-to-back champion was Golden State Warriors, right? Ever since then, it's been a different champion. It's been a different NBA champion. Lakers won it. Bucks won it. Denver's won it. Raptors won it. We could be going into a period of, well, guess what? We could be going into a period of boom, 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 boom. It's just there's no domination for the sport. Not saying it couldn't happen. Luka might, but remember, all these guys are young. People don't really start winning until you get 27, 28 in the NBA. That's when LeBron won. Kobe a second time around. Shaq won. When Shaq was he was around that age. I mean, that's just what it is. So it could be like, boom, 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 boom. Because if Denver loses to Minnesota, we're gonna have a different champion. We're gonna have a different champion. So it's. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, man.
Did you agree with Darvin Ham getting fired?
A lot of NBA people were blown. Like Gilbert didn't like his coaching, didn't understand it. Sometimes rotations were a little wild to me. I just think that when you're a coach for the Lakers and LeBron, they expect not to lose the first round. I'm serious, man. It sucks. It comes with the territory. It's just that, I mean, before LeBron, the coaches were getting fired back to back. Only coach that stayed there was Phil for a minute. Think about it. Byron Scott out. Mike Brown out. Luke Walton out. Frank Vogel might get fired again. He might. We don't know. Frank Vogel might be fired, but I think it's the nature of the business. I think he's a good coach. I think the roster wasn't built the way constructed to beat Denver or Minnesota. No, I don't. Sometimes it's your situation, All right. So yeah, sometimes. So, all right, guys. All right, great. I gotta go.
All right, man.
Gotta go pick my wife up. All right. I'll be easy, man. I'm gonna see y'all. All right, guys. Peace out. Fourth quarter out.